structures video. This is going to be a scratch build for Jack Jackson. He has requested me to build a couple buildings for his layout, and I am doing that for him. So I will show you some highlights of that build, and then I'll finally do the reveal at the end of the video. Before we get into that, I want to apologize to you guys for not commenting on the videos that you are posting. There's two reasons for that. Number one is I've been helping Diana get her cat, to get her house cat-proofed, so her little kitties can't get out into the wild and, you know, get gobbled up by a coyote or something like that. And the second thing is I've been doing scratch builds so I can get a little bit of extra money for my trip to Kansas City at the end of this month. So with that being said, the following couple of clips will be two of the scratch builds that I have that are for sale. They are N scale, and if anybody wants them, just let me know, and we'll get on with that. If you have a building that you want me to build, just as Jack did, let me know what you want to do. Tell me what you want, and I will put it down on paper and show you if this is what you want, and then we can go forward from there. Anyhow, I do have a second build after Jack's. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on it, maybe, but it is for another one of my subscribers, and I also hopefully I can get that done by the end of this month, so I have a little extra spending money when I go there. Because you know, when you go to a convention like that, you're not just going to walk in and look at all the stuff and not buy anything, right? Anyhow, without further ado, the first things that you'll see now are the two scratch builds that I have for sale, and then we'll get on with Jack's build. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, now what you're looking at is the build I'm going to be doing for Jack. This is an HO build, and that is an HO 50-foot boxcar sitting there. If you guys can see the ruler there, it is 7 inches long. This building total is 15 inches long. How I arrive at the +1 is because here I have extra work to do, and also here I have extra work to do. But that's not the only thing. What I'm going to be doing to this build is adding these guys. So there'll be a couple of silos in here also. Anyhow, I'm not going to show you the entire build. You guys know my procedures. It's going to be the same on this build also. I will bring you back when the plastic is cut, and then after that when the walls are standing, and then after it's painted. There'll also be a second building that's going to go along with this. It's going to be on this side of the track. There'll be two tracks coming into here. Anyhow, I'll show you this one, and then we'll see how it goes from there. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Couple of things I forgot to mention when I posted the first part of this was because of the lack of room, I had to integrate the office into the building to keep it within a certain dimension. Also right here are going to be truck loading docks, and there'll be also one back here for truck loading. Anyhow, just want to give you all the information that I possibly can, and so we'll see what happens. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Okay guys, what you're looking at here is the second building I'm doing for Jack. This is going to be a complex that is going to incorporate both buildings, as you can see. This one here is going to have a peaked roof, very slight peak, not very much, and it's also going to have a tower in here for unloading the dry goods. Anyhow, this is another mock-up. You know, I always like doing mock-ups. We'll have semi unloading here, and there'll be one door on the opposite side for boxcars, and this area here will get hoppers. Anyhow, we will continue on this build. Next step for me to do is to cut this out in plastic and do another mock-up, and I will show you both mock-ups with the striping done on both of these buildings. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, what you're looking at here is the building number 2 for Jack. The one in the back was my original design. I wasn't happy with it. The proportions didn't look right. So I decided to redo another one. And the one in the front here is the one I'll be doing. I also said in my previous clips that the building would have peaked roof on both sides, but I decided to do a peaked roof on this side and a flat roof on this side. I also incorporated the tower into this middle section of the building here. I'm happy with this, and I think Jack is going to be happy with it. So we'll carry on. Next time I show this, it'll be cut out in plastic and getting ready for paint. So stay tuned and I'll be back shortly. Okay guys, as you know that on most of my structures, most of my scratch build structures, I always put a stripe at the top of the building. In this particular case, because it's going to be a textured building, I had to paint the stripe on there. It's a 4-step process, and I'll show you how I do it. Anyhow, for this particular build, I'm using this Rust-Oleum. It's a flat red primer. Get that at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever. Anyhow, we'll move down to the work area, and I'll show you how this is done. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, this is how I establish painting my stripe on the building rather than using pinstriping tape. Step 1 would be to determine how big you want your stripe. In Jack's case, I'm doing 1/16 of an inch. It varies. You can buy these tapes or paint them as wide as you want them. Anyhow, once you determine how wide your stripe's going to be, then we'll move on to the next step. Next step is to mask off everything that you don't want painted. As you see here, I taped off where the line is, and I also covered up the bottom where I want the other paint. Then you'll wind up with this. Now this is it's just a piece of scrap that I've had laying around, and I just did any color here. But as you can see, you got a pretty straight line here, and your color is there. Now, the final step would be to cover up your stripe that you did and proceed to paint the rest of the building. Anyhow, I just thought I'd throw this in there just to show you guys how I achieve my striping on my buildings. And most of my buildings will get the stripe on there. I guess you can call it my signature. Anyhow, stay tuned and I'll show you the next part of this build. Be right back. Alright guys, what you're looking at here is the tanks that will be incorporated into Jack's build. As you can see, I already started putting some piping down here, and there'll be a couple more pipes that come up to the top. And there'll be a walkway and a stairwell on the side. Well, what I mean by stairwell is a safety cage and ladder, which will go here on the side. And then on the top, I'll be putting a small walkway, and I'll be using this here JTT diamond plate. And then to cap that all off, I'll be using this Plastruct railing. Anyhow, we'll move on and I'll show you the second build in its mock-up stage. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, what you're looking at here is the second building for Jack's complex that he wants me to build for him. This building is 16.5 inches long. It has a tower here, and this would be the track side. There'll be room for a boxcar here and a hopper here. And this will sit directly across from the other building that I've built so far. This is plastic and it is in the mock-up stage. And let's see if I can turn it around real quick, and we'll see what the other side looks like. So let's see what we can do here. I'll take these guys off and we'll go ahead and turn it around. I've been messing around with the roofs on this, and you'll see what I'm doing for the roofs in the next section of this video. Anyhow, This would be the truck facility. I'll have two doors here, I'll have a people door here, and then way over here I'm going to have a small garage door for maybe some kind of equipment that needs to go in there or whatever. And what I'll do now is I'll move the camera around rather than move the building and show you it's on this side. Anyhow, on this side here there'll be another truck loading door. Anyhow, this is getting pretty close to being put together, so stay tuned, and I'll show you the roof, how I'm going to be doing the pitched roof for this guy right here. Anyhow, stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, what you're looking at here is building number 2 for Jack. As you can see, I'm starting to do the roof here, but instead of spending $8.95 for this panel, which you only get one panel and the strips that go in there, I decided I was going to do my own. So this is a piece of plastic that I had laying around, and I will be using this number 101 to do the panel dividers, or whatever you want to call them. So from $8.95 I brought this part of the bill down to $3.59. So what I'm going to do is, I already scribed it here and I tweaked it just a bit, and I also scribed in the lines where my separators are going to go. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'll get back to you guys. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, what you're looking at is a little more work I've done on the silos for Jack's build. As you can see, I've added the safety cage and ladder here, and I also added the walkway on top, and these are evergreen products. And let me show you this. Nothing is secured on here yet, but if you can see this, it's diamond plate down there. This will eventually get secured after it's painted. I will paint this a light gray. As you can see, I've got all the piping done. Down at the bottom, this will be coming from the hoppers, going in here, and then coming out and going into the building here. I also added a couple of hatches on top. Anyhow, we'll continue on with this build. We're almost ready to start putting this all together and do a reveal on it. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, we're going to get ready to start on some of the final steps for this build for Jack. First thing I'm going to start off with is the office, and with the office I need to cut out a door and a window. I'm going to be using this door right here. Oops. I think you can see that. It's a Grant Line product, and also I'm going to be using this window. It's also a Grant Line product. We start off with the office wall, and as you can see, I've got the holes cut out, and I used my nifty little nipper tool. Unfortunately, I put it back where it belongs, surprisingly. I also did my final masking, so this wall in actuality is ready for paint. The next step is going to be for me to mask off the rest of the stuff that I need to mask off, and we'll get this building painted and start to assemble it. So anyhow, stay tuned and we will be back shortly. Alright guys, what you're looking at here is building number 1 for my buddy Jack. As you can see, all my supports are in there for the sidewalls and for the roof support and for the bottom support here. Also, the final masking has been done for this one, and then also over there is building number 2. It's also in the same present state. So ready, this guy is ready to be painted, and then the final assembly. So anyhow, you guys won't see the rest of this now until the reveal. So I hope you're enjoying this little series on Jack's build. Stay tuned for more and we'll be back soon. Alright guys, what you're looking at here is the building number 1 for Jack. As you can see, I've got it pretty much completed. I just have to put the corner trim on here. I'm just waiting for the paint to dry. Anyhow, we'll start over here with the silos. The silos are PVC. I'm going to take them off of here. Jack, I'm not going to glue these down because I'm afraid that they'll break off during shipment. But anyhow, as you can see with the silos here, let me back the camera out a bit. Like I said, they're PVC. I added the piping here that comes out and goes to the tankers, and then the piping that goes from here into the building. I also added the safety ladder and cage, and a walkway up on top with 2 hatches. The walkway is diamond plate. I think I told you that in the beginning of this video as I was building this. Alright, so we'll move on down, and over here we have the freight door. Now this is the trackside, guys, so there'll be a box car and a tanker that come in, and I'll put the cars there to show you what it's going to look like. Anyhow, the roll-up doors, I have the housings for them. They've also been trimmed out, and I have a people door here that's also been trimmed out. Let me show you what this is going to look like with a couple of cars in front of it. So hang on, let me get this set up. Oops, clumsy me. Anyhow, let's get that back in order. So we get a tanker car here, and we get a box car here. And so that's how that's going to look. So let me spin this around now and show you the front side of it. Move these out of the way first. Give me a second. Alright, we'll go ahead and spin this around. And now we're looking at the front of the building. And as you can see, I got the office integrated into the building. Grant line doors and windows, and they got glazing on them. You might not be able to see them right now. Okay, so now again, the building has the Vinnie built structures striped around the entire building. And now we'll turn it around this side, and this will be one side of the truck loading facility. So you got room there for 3 trucks and another people door. Again, trucks will get the truck bumpers down here. The trackside won't get them because the trackside needs to be up close to the building. Apparently there's a lack of room on Jack's layout. But when I put these 2 buildings together, you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyhow, I did the roll-up door housings, and again the doors, all the doors and windows have been trimmed out. And then we'll move to this side. And we have one more truck loading door. Anyhow, that's building number 1. Stay tuned, and I'll put building up number 2 up there, and we'll see how that looks. So be right back. Alright guys, this is building number 2 for Jack. None of the roofs are secured yet. I want to secure it to the base before I secure the roofs. But anyhow, this is the truck side. You can see the same thing. Got the roll-up doors with the housings and the truck bumpers down here. People door here. And then right here, I added a little garage door, so if they need to get any kind of equipment in there, like a Bobcat or something like that, they can do that. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and turn this around. And by the way, these builds, the 2 buildings have 3 different roof textures. This has got a steel roof, which I did some weathering on. Jack, I hope you like it. And then we got tar paper roof back here, and then when I bring the other building back in, I will show you the roof that I did on that one. Anyhow, again, we'll turn it around. And this is the another side for trucks. And again, I got a people door there. And then on this side here, that right there is going to be for a freight car, and then there'll be hoppers that come in here. I think I might add a couple of pipes to come out of here so it could unload the hoppers. Anyhow, basically that's about it. And the last side here is just got a people door. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and set up both buildings, and I'll show you what it's going to look like when it's on his layout. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, what you're looking at here is what I forgot to mention before, the roof of building number 1. As you can see, it's got the gravel finish on it, and what I did was I sprayed the plastic with dark brown Rust-Oleum paint, and then I just sprinkled on some of the sand that we had at one of our rail fanning trips. Anyhow, let me show you what both of these buildings are going to look like. And there you go, Jack. I hope this is what you wanted. Everything is there. Your tower is there. Like I told you, I was going to do 2 different roof things on this building here. And I did a peak roof here and then a tar roof in the back. Anyhow, another thing I forgot to mention. I mentioned earlier in this video that I was helping Diana fix up her house and get her house cat-proofed. I know I get that tongue twisted all the time, but anyhow, there's going to be a video on that, and it's going to be called Vinny Built Structures Builds a 1-to-1. So stay tuned for that. Anyhow, Jack, I hope you like what I did for you. It looks really good. Just the finishing touches. Like I told you earlier, I need to put the corner pieces on here. Paint's drying right now. But other than that, again, I hope you like it. I hope it meets your expectations. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and as always, your questions, comments, input, and subs are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. Vinny Built Structures and Vinny Vid Productions out.